Welcome back to Joy News Prime. Now to the rest of our stories on the local front. And in the last few hours, the Ghana Armed Forces has been responding to concerns of military brutality on civilians in enforcing President Akufo-Addo's restrictions imposed to contain the spread of COVID-19. So many worrying videos of the police and military assaulting the citizenry who are defiant of the president's directive. Though Colonel Agriquashi describes some as old videos not related to the current lockdown, he says the incident in Tafo in the Ashanti region, where a military man is seen exchanging blows with a resident, will be probed. He spoke with Evans Mensah on PM Express.
But I think that video is not related to the exercise. Okay. Yeah, it's not a new thing. It's an old video. And that is where some of us worry is coming from. Why all of a sudden people are pushing out all these old videos into the system? Why are they trying to cause fear and panic among the populace?
In this particular video, when we saw it, we sent our reporter to go out and try and do some verification. Stay with me, Colonel Agriquashi. I want to bring in my reporter in the bonus. We sent out to try and verify this. Nuruddin is on the line with us. Nuruddin, what did you find when you tried to verify this particular video?
Well, I spoke to some residents to find out exactly whether that incident occurred. And some of them told me that it happened this morning. It's been very difficult getting those who witnessed the incident, but those that I spoke to who live around said it happened this morning, and that the guy was asked wherever he was going by the military man, and he couldn't give any reasonable answer to the question that the military man asked him. So they asked him to go and join some other two guys who were standing in front of the church. And so he went there. I mean, it is not clear what happened. I mean, what exchanges happened between the military man and then the guy. So there was some kind of, exchange of hands, blows. So the guy took his tail, and then military man chased him. And we understand he was caught by the military man and later was taken away from the scene.
So we saw in the video that the military officer sort of attempted to run after him. The eyewitnesses say that this individual was arrested.
Exactly what they told me. I mean, they said the military man went after him and then caught him and brought him back to the same area, and they took him away. Actually, we have not been able to find out exactly where they took the man to. But all we know, or all we gathered from the scene was that he was taken away from that particular area.
Okay.
The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice is concerned about police and military brutalities during this lockdown period. A statement from the CHRAJ Commissioner, Joseph Whittal, reads, the Commission commends the initiative so far taken by government in combating the COVID-19 pandemic in the interest of public health and public safety. The initiative has culminated in the enactment of the Imposition of Restrictions Act, which is anchored on Article 21(4)(c) and D and E of the 1992 Constitution and gives legal effect to the restriction. The Commission has, however, noted with concern media reports alleging excessive use of force and practices bordering on torture meted out to some persons who are reported to have breached the President's directive. Notwithstanding the legal and constitutional basis for the lockdown and restriction or curtailment of movement, the media reports alleging excesses of caning, beating of persons who are deemed to have breached the lockdown directive should be of great concern to the entire nation. And CHRAJ recognizes that the country finds itself in an emergency situation requiring the curtailment of certain fundamental rights and freedoms. However, it must be equally emphasized that in the event of an emergency like what persists in Ghana, human dignity cannot be curtailed or traded off per Article 15(1) of the Constitution. And joining us for more on the CHRAJ statement is CHRAJ boss Joseph Whittal. Good evening to you. Many thanks for your time. You must be very alarmed by this situation resulting in the issuance of this statement.
This has been how things have happened in the past. But this time we want it to be different. We are dealing with a lockdown, and we expect that the police and military, that is the task force, should ensure that they go along with the letter and spirit of the Constitution. The power given to them is for them to ensure that the lockdown works, which is in the interest of all of us. But the report that we are getting definitely gives us serious concern. Middle-aged women, elderly women, men, journalists, even authority, the DCE was beaten up. We need to be very careful how we exercise power. And that is why the Commission came out with a statement to signal the High Command that the professional standards and behavior of their staff needs to be looked to, and they need to strengthen the areas of weakness. If they think that it's normal for when you meet somebody who seems to have breached the rule or the lockdown regulations, you should go ahead and beat. That is an area we should be very careful with, because it is a legal power that has been given to them. And they can only arrest and put the person before court and nothing more. They cannot take the law onto their own hands and mete out instant justice as they think it should be.
But the police and military from the onset made it clear that it was a humanitarian exercise, but also cautioned that some form of force would be applied in the extreme situations where people defy the orders with impunity. Should we blame the security agencies entirely for this situation, or the citizens who are extremely disobedient to the directives of the president?
Now, let me put things in perspective. The power to use reasonable force is not new by the police. It's not new. It's been in Act 30, it has been there. Now, when they are to cause any arrest and you resist, and you put up some attitude, they are supposed to use reasonable force to ensure that you are brought before either the police station or a court. So that is understandable. That reasonable force is not the same as infringing on the dignity of the people. It is not the same as beating and caning and kicking and doing that. That's not the reasonable force. The reasonable force is expected for you to be arrested and lawfully brought before a court of competent jurisdiction or before the police station where you are to give a statement or the other. But not what we have seen in some of the media reports and video footages that have come out. That is something that we need to decry.
I'm grateful that you joined us. Joseph Whittal is a CHRAJ boss, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Now,